Government is hoping to entice Vietnam's state-run oil company to invest in oil exploration and retail servicing in the Philippines. Energy Secretary Rene Almendras told the visiting Vietnamese President Truong that the Philippines would welcome the entry of Petroviet into the deregulated petroleum industry. President Sang arrived in Manila on Wednesday for a three-day state visit. Secretary Almendras said the Vietnamese leader aims to make Petroviet the dominant industry player in the Southeast Asian region.
The President expressed to me his vision that he would really like Petroviet to, overtake PTT of Thailand or Petronas of Malaysia. But so I told him, look, the Philippine downstream industry is fully deregulated. We have PTT gas stations here. We have Petronas, and we don't mind seeing Petroviet gas stations here if it means creating more competition, which is really what we should try to do. We want more players because more players means more competition, and so consumers end up with better pricing. We've been inviting Petroviet to come and look at some of the service contracts that we're now offering. Our priority right now is to increase and expand the existing oil and gas exploration that we have, both with the inside and around the Philippine baseline. I basically discussed with him the areas that we're offering, the 15 new areas that we are offering as opportunities for investments, and we've shared with him information on what are the existing developments also. It is a good opportunity for me to reassure him that we're not doing anything in their area, which is also his reply, we're not doing anything in your area too.
Well, ANC joined a small group of journalists who were allowed a brief interview with Vietnamese President Truong Tan Sang. We asked him about prospects for improving bilateral trade as well as developing areas of the Spratlys into tourism zones.
Trong chuyến viếng thăm này của tôi,
during my visit this time, I have the opportunity to discuss with your leaders on many areas. Trade, investment, and economic cooperation are the key areas of discussion. And I have the full confidence that the Philippines investment in Vietnam as well as Vietnamese investment in the Philippines will continue to grow in the years to come. And I might say that in the Vietnamese market, Philippine investors and businesses could find many opportunities in many areas, and they will enjoy a very good environment. Because Vietnam is an emerging economy which asks for investment in many sectors. Certainly, we have our priorities for certain areas in the next 5 or 10 years. For instance, we need to improve and develop our infrastructure, then the processing of forestry and agricultural products. Then comes manufacturing, supporting industries, electronics, etc. We also encourage the development of tourism in our country. So you can see that there are so many areas that Philippine investors could put their money in. On the other hand, Vietnamese companies and businesses could find many opportunities in the Philippines.
Well, you had a very interesting experiment with tourism because you opened part of the disputed area in the South China Sea to tourist packages. Domestic tourism plays a big part in that. How do you see the tourism approach to the South China Sea issue as helping to stabilize the situation there?
Your question is very interesting. In regard to the disputes in the East Sea, all the parties concerned have agreed to settle them under the international law, especially the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and the declaration of the parties concerned in the South Chinese signed between ASEAN and China in 2002.
Tôi nghĩ rằng đó là cơ sở pháp lý quan trọng nhất để những nước có liên quan mà giải quyết những vấn đề tranh chấp trên cái quần đảo Trường Sa.
And they are the fundamental and most important legal basis for all the parties concerned. And they are the fundamental and most important legal basis for all the parties concerned to settle all the issues in the East Sea, especially, for instance, in the Spratlys. And as such, all economic activities within your territorial waters and sovereignty do not go against these international instruments and would not complicate the situation.
Of course, everybody is interested in asking whether or not the joint exploration of mineral resources or even oil in the Spratlys would be seen as counterproductive to normalizing the situation in the South China Sea. Would there still be a continuing partnership between the Philippines and Vietnam in terms of joint exploration of the area for minerals and other resources if China itself sees that that is an aggressive move by other countries?
To my knowledge, there is no single country taking, say, exploratory activities in the disputed areas. So perhaps the answer will be found in the future, because even between Vietnam and the Philippines we have not yet discussed this issue. But in the time to come, I believe that all the parties concerned will have the chance to discuss this matter, but anything will have to be based on international law, the UNCLOS and the DOC. And I do have the hope that the parties concerned will base themselves on these international legal instruments.